Welcome to the show. I'm Michael Buckets,
I'm Old King Cole.
and this is Ball Talk. So, today is the first official day of the off season.
Crazy.
Yeah, so Thunder took home the championship last night. That was a great run, SGA locking down the regular season MVP, Western Conference Finals MVP, and Finals MVP, and scoring championship, scoring title all in the same season. Um, Very historic run.
Yeah, flowers to Shea for sure for that. Definitely one of, like you just said, historic run. Like something we're gonna
Right.
remember for a very long time. We're gonna remember, like, especially because like we already remember historic seasons in the past that didn't end this amazingly. Like we remember the Harden season when he scored 35 all those times and he had that amazing run. That's kind of what Shea did this year in the regular season. And then he capped it off with, like you said, Western Conference Finals MVP, a championship. So he really took a historic season and put it way up. Like this is a crazy, crazy year, and we're gonna remember this for a long time. But the craziest thing for me is that looking back on this championship, I know at least for us because we were so heavily invested. Anybody who was really invested in the playoffs this year, I don't think the Thunder are going to be the first team you think about from this year. I think it's going to be
No,
that
I
Pacers
mean,
team.
that Pacers team went on a historic run. Even watching game seven, I was like, win or lose, like this is like one of the greatest like underdog stories in
Oh my
sports,
gosh, it
at
was
least in
so
our
good.
lifetime too.
Yeah.
It's just like very crazy to see a team like the Pacers knock out juggernauts the whole way through. I
The
mean,
whole way,
we
dude.
had the Knicks as a favorite at one point. We were talking about how the Thunder and the Cavs were just like the same, sorry, different sides of the same coin, like just like the top team in the
Yeah.
each conference. We talked on this pod about how no matter what we say, we think the Thunder are gonna walk, and they didn't walk. They barely squeezed out.
Yeah,
They
for
barely
real.
squeezed out, and you know injuries happen, so I hate to be the guy to say what if, but you really don't know how that game might have went.
Yeah, I hate
Um,
to be that person too, but yeah, we definitely have to just throw it out there because, like,
right.
yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, this is going to be the year where, weirdly enough, you almost don't think of the championship team first. You think of the team that damn near made it and that hit a game winner every single step of the way, like, even in the finals. Like, man, I don't know. That was,
Yeah, and for me watching that game seven, it was like Tyrese Halliburton gave his team that fire. Then after he goes out, they still got that fire, and they're fighting the whole first half. I'm like, man, like
yeah,
back and forth, very like the Pacers could really pull this off. And what ended up happening is when the Thunder pulled ahead, it was TJ McConnell was doing a lot, doing basically everything, and he was trying to get the other guys involved, but he doesn't have that Tyrese Halliburton touch.
no.
So he couldn't get them involved, and that's why you didn't see him get a lot of assists, and you didn't see the rest of the team be able to be the Pacers that we see in late game because they weren't led by their comeback captain, you know?
Yeah, for real. And yeah, that's a
Um,
really good point. It was like a lot of TJ McConnell just taking like on the whole entire load to himself right after that and kind of
right.
taking on a lot of the scoring and not really being able to get, just as you said, like that passer's touch on the ball and be able to get his teammates involved as much as maybe Tyrese would have and continued on to the rest of the game. I mean, shoot, he was 3 for 4 from three and from the field in general in
Oh, he was
seven
killing it,
minutes, and he had
He
nine
was out
points.
there
Yeah,
doing everything that he possibly could,
right off rip.
Um,
Yeah, like you said, I mean,
it's
it's
just
looking great.
game seven in the finals, that wasn't his stage, to be a playmaker.
Yeah,
That was his stage to score some bench points for sure. Like imagine if that was the sixth man effort in the game.
yeah, for
It's
real.
almost like,
That's
you
why it
know,
really feels like a deep what if. Like it's like, man,
right.
like this one, it's really, I hate to say it, but it's tough to look back on a little bit just because it's like, man, what could have happened? And
It
there was
really
just
is.
so much of this specific injury in this playoffs that, like I was telling you last night, I mean, this is the first time in my whole entire life of watching basketball. I've been a big time basketball fan for so many years now. And I have never once given into the conversation of we should shorten the season, we should this, we should that, whatever, because it seemed like the players were all good with it. This is the first time that that conversation feels like it's starting to tip the scales a little bit the other way, where I'm feeling like maybe 65 games in a season wouldn't be the worst thing. Maybe 2 3 days between certain teams actually being able to play a game every single time wouldn't be the worst thing. We're still going to have a game damn near every single night. We have 30 teams in the NBA that would be playing 65 games or 60 whatever game. I can't remember the exact number that, you know what I mean, is like a projected takedown, but like, man.
bro. So I hear you, and I didn't respond entirely because, well, I kind of agreed with you because I hear you. Like, there needs to be some sort of attention called to the fact that there was a bunch of Achilles injuries this postseason, and it's been happening for a couple of years now, where it's
Yeah.
like you see star players get overloaded. Um, I might sound like an old head when I say this, but maybe they're just weak, dude. Like
That's
we saw
crazy.
Kobe and Jordan and other players do that. Go out there and play 82 games in a season, go in the postseason and like, so like, maybe it's they need to condition better. Maybe they got to worry more about basketball, but then it's like taking away from personal lives. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, just play
Right, that kind of
basketball.
gets back into the shut up and dribble combo. So
Right.
you're
It's
right.
like I'm
Yeah.
not trying to go there,
No.
but it's like, but I kind of am though, because like that's why Kobe and Jordan were able to do that, because that's the only thing they cared
They just
about
eat,
was
breathed, and slept
right.
basketball.
So,
Yeah.
but I don't know, it's they obviously could do it, and it was more physical. So I don't understand. I don't know if that's what it is. It might have something to do with the tournaments. Adam Silver's introducing all these tournaments, so now you're having to play top tier basketball, 2, 3 times a year and then go to the playoffs on top of the 82 game season. I think that could be a lot. And I'm a big fan of the tournaments that Adam Silver's been introducing, but it's almost like kind of what my response to you was last night when you said that was you either got to shorten the season or cut back on the tournaments because
Yeah.
you're asking these guys to do way too much.
100%. Yeah. Either
And we
way.
can't forget that the Olympics were last year too. So some of these guys have been going. Jason Tatum been going nonstop. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess he didn't really. And moving on.
Yeah. Yeah. But just an amazing finals. I mean, but besides all of that and all of the, we're gonna think on the Pacers, the Thunder, like we said, truly had an amazing historic run. This could be the
For sure.
start of a dynasty that lasts for a very long time. And I was starting,
Definitely could be.
and I think we were all kind of thinking that and having those conversations amongst ourselves. Towards the start of the playoffs when we were really like sitting there, like you said, and we were just kind of like, they might just walk right through. I mean, who's to
Right.
say that who's going to stop the Thunder? Nobody really has all season. They only had however many losses, and it was like, come on, they're not they're not going to get stopped. And it just kind of goes to show like that this really might be the start of the next dynasty. These guys are all in their mid to young 20s and they all seem to be very happy there to the point to I could see a Lou Dort or a Jalen Williams or somebody take a bit of a pay cut and favor of actually being able to stay there and stay under that
Oh
second
yeah, they're
apron and then
best friends, and you could see that while they were celebrating. You're like, this
exactly.
isn't a normal championship team. Like, sure, you like always love the guys that you win a championship with, but like these guys
Mm-hmm.
like are
This
homies,
is a brotherhood there, yes.
Yeah, and that's really cool to see. And all flowers to the Pacers, but I'm not a believer in asterisks. A
No.
championship's a championship,
Yeah,
and this
no.
Thunder team, it wasn't just SGA, it was Jalen Williams having that 40-piece game and also being a big support in this game seven. That was Chet blocking the ball five
I
times.
was gonna
Chet
say,
was a
yeah,
monster
had the
last
most
night in the
blocks in a
paint.
Game Seven
Like
Finals history. Like, come on, man.
I would be terrified if I had to go down there and Chet standing there. Like and he's so young too. That's what I was like.
Right.
The commentators were saying whatever, and I said to my girl, I'm like, I'm so tired of like Chet needs to do this, Chet needs to do that. Like he's a kid.
Literally,
Like
let him grow a little
he's
bit,
so
bro.
good at basketball. Like yeah, let him mature a little bit and like let him make mistakes and
Literally.
like learn from that. He's
Yeah.
not gonna go out there and be Kevin Durant or LeBron James with it.
Yeah.
He might, you know,
Let him
who
just be
knows?
Chet. Let Chet
But
be
like,
Chet.
yeah, just like let him be Chet right now.
Yeah,
Let him do his stuff.
because clearly it worked.
And
Clearly
you
it
know, he's
worked.
yeah, NBA champion,
Yeah,
setting Game 7 NBA Finals records.
right. Etched his name in the
So
history books, like
yeah, put some respect on Chet. I mean,
for real. Yeah.
damn.
Put some respect on the whole team because yeah, I mean this
Yeah,
is the time
yeah.
where yeah, I mean I feel
Alex
like
Caruso, two-time NBA champion.
oh, you know I'm happy to see that one. You know I'm happy to see that one. It was sad to see him go recently, but man, to see him really be a part of another championship team is absolutely amazing and to see it right after his like really awesome stint with the Bulls, I feel like I mean,
Bro, him and Drew Holiday, it's that defensive guard uh popping shots right when you need them to,
yeah,
moving
for
from
real.
team to team, just
Like
giving
they're only
everybody
doing offensive
championship
stuff when it's in
juice,
a clutch moment.
right? It's that 3 and D guard is so necessary in today's game.
Honestly, yeah.
But
Yeah. All flowers to the Thunder. They did absolutely crazy stuff. I mean, I don't even know what more to really even say about it other than the fact that this is going to be a team to watch for years and years and years to come.
for sure,
And I
for
really
sure.
hope the
And I'm
Pacers.
excited to see what the Pacers do next year
Yep.
too, because they're gonna snap back. They're gonna be hungry
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I mean, best best wishes for Tyrese Halliburton and his injury, and definitely hoping that
Yeah.
is just a forgotten part of his career, honestly. But
Yeah.
that'll be
For real.
tough. I mean, Game 7 injuries, tough to forget.
Yeah. It's definitely a tough one.
But yeah, I mean, other things going on in the league. The offseason has been rolling,
Oh my
obviously.
gosh, yeah. Not even day one of the off season. It was day zero of the off season. It was the last
Right.
day of the season.
It was like when you go to see a Pixar movie in theaters and they're like, here's a little 5 minute thing that you've never heard of before to the finals. That's what it was.
It was crazy. It was like I don't even know, like just like pre-hype to how amazing the night was gonna be and how crazy.
Yeah, it was the pregame. It was like take this shot before you go to the game,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, literally. Like they were trying
Um,
to start the show up hot.
yeah, what we're referencing, obviously, is Kevin Durant getting moved to the Houston Rockets for what was it, Dylan Brooks, Jalen Green,
It was
and a
the
bunch of picks.
yeah, the number 10 pick and then five second round
Yeah,
picks.
second round picks is the shocking part to me. I mean, second round picks for sure, but like one number 10 pick and then a bunch of second round picks. So
Five of them though. That's like
one
all of their
advantage is
picks.
they at least get to like look at that number 10 pick. Like they probably have an idea what's going on. And I think it's going to actually end up Houston's going to draft the player that Phoenix wants and then they're going to go play for Phoenix after because the trade can't get finalized till after the draft.
Right.
But yeah, you were going to talk about those asking prices from like the Heat.
Yeah, the Heat. So there was words from Shams that within the last like couple hours of the trade being really finalized through with Houston, that Phoenix was also talking to the Heat deep talks with the Heat, and the Heat were unwilling to add in Jamie Jacques Jr., Hayward Highsmith, or Khalil Ware, and their number 20 pick this year. They didn't want to add any of those things combined together. They were willing to add just Jamie Jacques from what I was hearing and like Terry Rozier and Andrew Wiggins and then like a future pick and only one pick. Not even like a boatload of picks like they got
Right.
from Houston where they got, the number 10 pick and five second round picks that they could stack together and try and make a trade to get somebody else in the future because it seems like they're trying to do more. It seems like Phoenix is trying to get rid of Bradley Beal, of course. I mean, that's kind of obvious, but there's official reports from Shams that they are trying to move on from Bradley Beal. So it really feels that way. That they're gonna try and load up a bunch of picks with Bradley and try and dump it off and probably not get as good of a player back as you would expect. But it,
I heard they might be trying to move Jalen Green again also.
yeah, I've heard that, but then I've also heard that they're trying to keep him.
I have heard both.
Yeah, So at this point, I'm just like, we might as well just
I think
focus
he's
on
gonna
him
move.
as a
I think
son.
he's gonna move.
You think so?
I mean, I'm cool with focusing on him as a son and imagining it, but I think he's gonna move. I don't know. I'm feeling it. Just because I said it, he won't though. So it's how the universe does me.
Mm. But yeah, the Heat aren't showing any real sign of actually trying to get anybody for their fan base. It doesn't seem like they actually give a shit about
Yeah.
making trades, and Pat Riley is really out of touch with the NBA nowadays. I mean, all love. He definitely deserves his flowers and did some amazing things and made some great teams, but it's not that day and age anymore. And now he is disconnected because he's trying to send out some pretty whack trade offers that are not getting anything back in
Yeah.
return. Like,
Yeah, it's weird over in Miami. I think they might be entering a really awkward stage for short of a decade.
yeah, I mean, yeah, even the like last year or two of that Jimmy saga just wasn't good. So yeah, it's been a little bit now that they've been on like a really weird, awkward point of like, are we trying to win? Are we trying to buy players? Are we trying to just full on rebuild? What are we doing here? Are we building around Harrow? Like,
Yeah, and honestly, it's a bummer that they weren't able to get one with that Jimmy Butler led team because they were barking at it every single season, Eastern Conference Finals or Finals. Yeah, that's tough. It's
hmm.
tough.
But on the other end of this trade, Houston. Ho, ho, ho.
Now,
Houston.
Houston, looking at this trade, if you're a Houston fan, that's like you just heard the best news. I
No,
mean, you
yeah.
didn't lose anything you were scared about losing. You
No, yeah.
got Kevin Durant. Um, you were able to keep Amin Thompson, which is what you're focused on in the future. Obviously, Sengun, the in my opinion, probably still the leader of the team.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, you got Kevin Durant, which is besides just the name, is a scorer, which is
Yeah.
what the Rockets need more than anything else. Was just like a pure
Yeah,
scorer
that was the
who
one
they can
thing that
feed the
was the
ball to.
conversation all year was that they were an amazing team. They were the second seed in the regular season throughout almost most of the season, and they were kind of taking the league by storm. But the whole year, everybody said that they were fakers because they don't have a definite scorer, like you just said.
Right.
And now, like you said, they got walking bucket. They got Katie.
Plus, they were able to keep Fred Van Fleet too. So like
That
now the
was a huge
combo of
part that I
like
that I haven't seen people
veteran
talk about. Yeah.
mentality and young star power is just I don't know. I don't know. I'm very excited about that. Keeping Fred Van Fleet, yeah, like you said, is more important than people are giving credit for. People aren't talking about that, but that's something that's, he's still a really good point guard and he can pass a lot of good knowledge on to the young guys on that
No,
team.
yeah, he's got a really good like championship DNA to him ever since that run with
Yes.
the Raptors. That taught him so much and just going from being an undrafted guy to actually being as vital and being a starter for so many years now. I feel like he had to learn obviously a good amount of things along that way just to be really good in the game and to be able to make his mark. So yeah, he's definitely shown his impact everywhere that he's gone along the way. I mean, sure, he's had moments that haven't looked so great, but
He ate the placenta.
what?
You know about that?
I didn't know that.
Bro, he had a baby.
Just recently?
Like, no, it was like 2018, 2019. Then he ate the placenta.
Dang, bro.
Yeah, because apparently it's really good for you to like eat the
I
placenta or
mean, yeah, I
whatever.
know that. Yeah.
So he ate that shit, bro. And then all of a sudden he was a better basketball player. No joke. You can like Google it. Google when it happened, check the
He said
stats.
no joke. Check the stats. He was a sixth man and then he went to being a starter.
Literally.
Eat the placenta.
It's fact.
Hashtag eat the placenta.
Coincidence or correlation is all factual. So
That's so amazing, bro. That was such a random knowledge drop.
For the
Oh.
longest time, that's like the only thing that I could think about when someone brought up Fred VanVleet. I was like, dude, he ate the placenta.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. But
But
yeah,
yeah, I think the Rockets are going to be a very scary team. You know, people are talking about maybe like number two in the West after the Thunder, talking about it like that, which
yeah.
I'm not going to put them there. Jokic is still out there. Luca is still out there.
I'm putting them there. That's exactly where they were this last year, and now they just got rid of Jalen Green and added KD.
All right, I'll level with you. I'll give you that. I'm still in playoff mode, and you know everything changes in playoff mode.
Yes, okay,
Um,
playoffs, I hear you.
so let me back up a little bit. Yeah, I'm interested to see what the Grizzlies are gonna do. If the Grizzlies do some interesting stuff, they might be able to get pretty high up there, but I could also see
That is something we need to
them
talk about for sure. The Desmond Bane
dropping.
trade.
I could see them continuing to trade, but trade for picks for the future and ending up being a worse team than they were last year as well. That's one team I've been on the fence about. But yeah, let's talk about that Desmond Bane trade because that's a big deal for
Yeah,
both teams. For both teams.
yeah, huge trade there that I honestly did not see. Did you see this one coming? I didn't see this one coming whatsoever.
No, definitely not. I didn't know Desmond Bane was on the move at all. I
Yeah,
didn't know the
no.
Grizzlies were going to do anything, if
That's
I'm
what
going to
I
be
thought. I
honest.
thought if anything, the Grizzlies are going to be out here
But
trying to get KD, like not.
now they did though. They
Yeah,
started doing something. So
yeah,
that's why I feel like they need to keep because what they get back? Because they're not in a position to just play a season, in my opinion.
yeah. They're not really in a position to like start winning right now. So the Orlando Magic acquired Desmond Bane from the Memphis Grizzlies, and in exchange, the Grizzlies received KCP, Caldwell Pope, Cole Anthony, and four unprotected first round draft picks, along with two first round pick swaps.
So yeah, that gives me the impression that they're trying to blow it up.
Yeah, they're either trying to blow it up or they were trying to acquire as many assets as possible to get KD, and then it failed. And we just haven't heard about it yet.
That's a really valid take.
That's my only thought is that because this happened what on the 15th and the KD trade happened what 2 days ago. That's about 6 days but prior that they had all of these picks. You don't think they called up KD or the Phoenix Suns once and they were like, "Hey, we just got 6
That
picks
would have been
from the
surprising too to
Magic,
see KD go over there.
right to the Grizzlies
That would have
with
been
Ja."
vicious.
Oh, oh, Ja driving the lane and then everybody collapses and whoop kicks it out
I'm
and
happy how it worked out. He completed the Rainbow Challenge, so it had to be Rockets or Heat, I think he knew that too. I think he knew that. He was like, I
You think
gotta go
so?
to a team where I can wear red.
Could be.
Could have been the Bulls, man. Sorry about it.
Anyways.
Yeah. I'm gonna let Cleo out real quick.
Oh yeah, you're good. So yeah, this one definitely hit us all by storm. It didn't really make sense to me in the long run for the Grizzlies. In my opinion, it just absolutely like it just confuses me. Like I don't see why the Grizzlies would be in this already weird like we're trying to win like I don't even know state like they were like right on the cusp of the jump. You know what I mean? Like they really
Yeah,
just
for
needed like
sure.
one more guy or one young piece that's like a role player to help just improve the rest of the squad really well. Just something like they were really just one little piece away from like that huge jump it felt like. And then they traded away one of their guys that like honestly was like the leader of the team every time Josh stepped out.
Yeah, and I don't know. Now they just got this big hole, so
Yeah, and I've
I'm
heard
hearing
talks that they were gonna that their number one priority now is to move Jaren Jackson Jr.
that's what I was just gonna say. And now it sounds like they're trying to move Jaren Jackson Jr.,
Like, what are they
which is,
doing? They gonna move John next?
I mean,
Because that's how it
moving Jaren
feels.
Jackson Jr. is probably good for them, not gonna lie. I think they should have kept Desmond Bane, but moving Jaren Jackson Jr. is gonna turn out well if they can get a good replacement for him, obviously. Which, and I'm not trying to say that I need somebody to be better than him, which is a good kind of what I'm saying. But like someone that fits in their system better,
I
that
know
doesn't need the ball
exactly.
as much.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. I feel like for Jaren Jackson, even though they got a decent haul of picks for Desmond Bane, they didn't really get great players. I think for Jaren Jackson, you'll get a bigger haul because he's got the Defense Player of the Year, you know what I mean? All
Right.
defensive teams, all these different awards and whatnot. I think you're going to get a bigger haul for him because he kind of looks more appealing on paper. But I hear you in the sense of like what he brings to the team is a bit easier to replace than what Desmond Bane brought to the team, because Desmond Bane was like a consistent scorer almost every single day and night that they
Yeah,
needed
now
it,
that's
whereas Jaren
somewhere
Jackson was
else.
just like a really good defender that you might not get that level of defense, but you can still replace him with a good enough level of defense and a good enough level of offense that that hole will be filled a lot easier than literally your top scorer of your team, because
Right.
Ja, even though he's very exciting and amazing, he hasn't really taken that jump of being like a consistent 30 point a game scorer. He really still is like a on a normal night like about 20 points and maybe 12 assists or something like that, like closer to like a low end triple double, maybe like 6 rebounds or something, but like every single play looks really crazy, kind of almost like a Tyrese, like how Tyrese Halliburton never, like his box score isn't the craziest look, but you know he led the game the whole entire way. He's got 21
Yeah.
points, 4 rebounds and 15 assists. And it's like, oh, he only had 21 points and 15 assists, but it's like, well, if you really look at it, 15 assists means at least 30 points that he added on top of his 21, so he really accounted for like half of the points in the whole entire game, but
So yeah, don't know where the Grizzlies are at. All that being said, it's like very up in the air. I could see them just kind of flopping out and being a disrespectable team again, like they were when Ja was injured or suspended. And now I'm kind of thinking when we say it all, it kind of feels that. But the flip side, where I
yeah.
started here, is like they very well could, like we're saying, trade Jaren Jackson Jr., get some good assets back, build a nice team around Ja that really works, and he could take that leap where he is scoring 30 a night or 25 a night,
Mm,
and that team might be top five in the West again. Well, they were not. They were the eighth, but they were up there earlier in the season. Was I'm referencing? They could be a good regular season team without Jaren Jackson Jr. if that trade goes well, if it happens at all.
Man, I would love that, but honestly, free them boys. The front office doesn't know what they're doing. Free Jaw, free JJJ.
Oh yeah, trading Ja, that would be awesome. I'd love to see Ja on another team where he could actually like have a front office that we can rely on to
Yeah.
build around him.
Hmm.
But I don't see them doing that, which is
No, if
why
they're
I'm
gonna
trying
hold
to
on to
imagine
someone,
a world where they are able to build around him. Even though it's true what you said, they've fucked him over basically his whole career.
yeah, especially trading like his backcourt guy that has been like his co-star this whole entire
Yeah.
time. Like that's
Yeah, it's like
crazy.
every time they get something that works for them, they get rid of it.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. Flip side though, we
Oh, the
got the Magic
Magic. Yes. They
looking
are
like the
looking.
Rockets in the East.
Yeah, they're looking so good after this trade, especially like all hopes that everybody can stay healthy this next year, dude. Like I feel like I feel like people forget the start of the season that the Magic really had it last year.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, they were really there
they were like the number
through injury
three
and stuff.
seed.
I mean,
Yeah,
they were a good team, and that's I kind of want to get into. I feel like we should just jump right into the Magic look good with Desmond Bane is basically my only take on that scenario.
yeah, like
But
amazing.
let's talk about the East though. What is the East gonna look like next year? Because it's very up in the air. I mean, that Cavs team was that Cavs team fake. This the Celtics team, we got looming injury. Pacers Bucks got looming injury. This 76ers team is basically brand new. They've played less than 20 games together, that big three that are running it back. And then you got teams like the Magic coming up with a whole new look. So I don't know.
I think the
Just
one definite that I can say for sure is the Cavs are going to be looking the way that they did again. Except they're going to be
Okay.
ready come playoff time.
I'll give you that. I mean, I can't argue with that. There's, you know,
It's like the only thing that I can say for sure. Other than that, I think the Magic are honestly going to be that number 2 team. I think they're going
that's
to
what I'm
take that
thinking.
jump.
That's why I compare him to the Rockets because it's
Yeah,
like, man,
100%. I think that was a
and
beautiful
it's
comparison
not
right when
for
you said
both
it.
teams too. It's not just because of the trade that I want to put him there, but it's like you do that trade and it's like, man, I was already thinking you might be there, and now I kind of know you are going to be there.
Right, because they got young talent that's like has a whole nother year of progression and a whole nother off season of working on your game and just trying to add new things to your game. So like Paulo's gonna come back this next year and be better, and Franz is gonna come back this next year and be better, and Sengun's gonna come back this next year and be better, and uh oh, I'm having a brain fart right now. Thompson's gonna come out this next year and be better. Like, you know what I mean? All these young guys on both sides, on both teams, are gonna come out and be better. Plus, like you said, they're adding Desmond Bane or they're adding a KD. So it's
Amin
like,
Thompson's he might take the biggest jump. I have high expectations for
yeah,
him
I'm
next.
happy that you
I
feel the
mean,
same way because I really hope Amin Thompson is like
yeah,
crazy,
he's gonna
crazy
have
this
like a
next year.
breakout season and just be like,
Yeah, he is a
not only
fun
do I
player
feel
to
like he's
watch.
gonna be able to score in important moments, but I also feel like he's gonna be that Dyson Daniels out of nowhere, like being super defensive, and everybody's like, do not with Amin Thompson,
Dude,
you
for
know?
real. He might be like the best athlete in the game right now. Like I swear
He's so good,
every time
man.
he blocks the ball, I swear he's like jumping over people's heads, it feels like. Like he's two-handed like smacking that shit and I'm like, dude, what is his vert
And he's just so
like?
like chill about it too, you
Yeah.
know? It's like it doesn't look like he's overextending himself. He's just playing ball.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really fun to watch. I'm excited to see that with KD's Slim Reaper vibes
Oh
on
my
the court.
gosh, yeah.
It's gonna go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, and then baby Jokic, like, come on now. Come
That's gonna
on
be a
now.
good team. That's gonna
Oh.
be a good team.
Yeah, the Rockets might be my favorite team besides the Thunder, of course, just because you got to say that the Thunder are the favorites being the returning champion, unless they have like some sort of a crazy Kawhi Leonard leaving type of scenario.
Right. That would be nuts.
Yeah, that's the only way
Goes
that
to
I
Toronto.
right. That's the only way that I could see like any championship team not being the favorite is in a situation like that. But the Rockets genuinely might be my number 2 right behind them because you already have the championship DNA of Fred VanVleet that we've talked about that's spreading to all of these guys, and they've gone through a playoffs legitimately now and they've had the heartbreak of losing and had, you know what I mean, they've gone and they've seen
Right.
what playoff basketball really looks like, and they've gotten to be able to get whatever teachings from Fred VanVleet, but now they're getting it from a dude that's won so many different times and won finals MVP and this, that, and the other. Like somebody that is on Freddie's level of like having that championship DNA, but then like the next level of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it's endless possibilities what you could learn from somebody like KD. I mean, he's in a category that could be listed on one hand, you know?
Literally. Right. For like everything.
Yeah.
Like you name anything and KD's probably on that list of like top 5 whatever.
Other teams in the West, I mean, Texas in general is looking good. The Mavs,
Oh, you're saying
still
the
a scary
West?
team.
I thought we were talking the East though.
We were talking East, but then we started talking about the Rockets.
Yeah, that's true, huh? Yeah, I'm sitting here looking at the East.
We can keep talking about the East for sure. So
I want to
I'm gonna
say
talk
that
about the
I
Bucks.
really want to say. Oh, okay.
What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say I really want the Pistons. I don't really have like a definite guess on it, so it'll definitely be like a real quick thing to say real quick. But I really hope the Pistons are top 5. I hope they take a
I
little
think the
bit more of a
Pistons will be
jump.
top five. I think the Pistons.
There's just so many good teams that it's tough to put them top 5. Like you got we've already said the Cavs, the Magic. You obviously got the Celtics. No matter who they trade in this offseason and dump off, they're going to be a top whatever team.
They're gonna make the playoffs
Yeah,
for
the
sure.
Knicks, the Pacers just made the finals, and that's already 5.
Right.
And then you
I
got
think
the Bucks if they make any crazy moves or they play really good this year, that's 6. how like it's tough to put the Pistons there. They really have to take like a jump if they want to be up or make some sort of a trade or the
I think
Sixers.
that
What
the
if the
gap
Sixers are
between
healthy?
all of those teams is not that big, honestly. So what it's going to look a lot like the West last year. Like you're going to see the Cavs probably be pretty dominant again. Maybe not. Maybe the Knicks will be super dominant again or
Right,
something. But
whoever,
you're going to
yeah.
see like the 1 and 2 seed kind of be up there. And then you're gonna see 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe to like 9. You're gonna see a couple game gap. And it's gonna be those teams that you just said, the Pacers, the Pistons, the Knicks, the 76ers, the Celtics are gonna be in that mix. The Bucks are gonna be in that mix. And it's gonna be the difference of third seed to seventh seed, just like it was this year. The Bulls, honestly, are
I
gonna
was
be
gonna
in
say
that mix.
the Hawks always give us like some sort of like a 2 month run when we're like, are the
Right.
Hawks this dark horse team that could take
Maybe the
off?
Heat do something, you
Right? The
know?
Raptors with BI, what if they start looking a lot better with
The Raptors
Scotty
are a
and
team I
whatnot?
forgot about.
Yeah, the Raptors always kind of make a little bit of like a weird run and they beat really
The
good
Nets are trying to
teams.
make moves, but I don't really see them doing anything
Yeah.
this year.
The Hornets I'm not worried about, the Wizards I'm not worried about. The Bulls I love them, but you know me,
Bro, watch
I'm the
Chris
most
Middleton
harshest
average
Bulls.
28 points. Watch Chris Middleton. This is perfect time. Thanks for bringing it up. Chris Middleton opted back into his contract, 33 million
Not even
from
really
the
news because
Wizards.
who expected him to not take it?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like anyone else is gonna pay him that money, you know? So So yeah, Chris Middleton leading the Wizards, leading the way. I heard they're trying to trade. Didn't say the asset, but they were like a surprising asset for a top 3 pick. And it's
A surprising asset for a top three
like
pick.
SAR? I don't know. I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be surprising. I don't know. Anyways, that's all the talk on the Wizards that we've ever done, I think.
Except for our series.
Right. Shout out DC, shout out South Carolina. I guess North Carolina's closer to DC, but silly eye.
Sure.
And the Hornets. Man, no wonder there's no basketball fans over there.
Yeah, the Hornets piss me off. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about the Hornets, honestly, because they don't deserve any more talking right now. I don't care if you're a Hornets fan, be mad, but like, tweet at your front office and tell them to figure it out. Tell them to talk to Lamelo, start taking the game a little more serious. Like I love, you know me, I love Lamelo. I've
Oh
loved
yeah,
Lamelo since
LaMelo
high school,
is
since he
like
was like,
very fun to watch,
yeah,
very respectable player.
yes,
But
like
yeah, I would say you're not wrong about the Hornets. You're not wrong for like directing it towards the Hornets at all. But also LaMelo is just
he could just be a product of his environment. He could just be like, man, I'm on the Hornets anyways, so like, why would I care in clutch moments? Because it's not like we're gonna
yeah,
win
you see
a
that.
bunch
You
of
see that
games.
for sure.
You know what I mean?
I always expect that out of guys. Like this is a bad example, but when Kyle Kuzma came to the Bucks, I was like, he hasn't been doing whatever on the Wizards because he doesn't care about winning with the Wizards. And reality of what Kyle Kuzma did for
I
the
hear
Bucks
you though.
aside, it's like he did come to the Bucks with a new energy and
Yes.
did like give it a little more.
And
So
going into it, you hope that yeah, that structure and that set goal at the end of the season will help guys kind
So
of
yeah, it would be
lock
cool,
back in.
like Ja. It would be cool to see Lamelo move, but I don't think they're gonna get rid of him. But it would be cool if they did get rid of Lamelo, tried to build around Brandon Miller or something, and like let Lamelo be himself somewhere else on a contention team, so you could get that kind of fire. I hear that.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. Let Lamelo go to Phoenix.
That'd be cool.
Jalen Green for Lamelo. I need it. I need it.
Yeah, Jalen Green, and that's perfect.
I need
That's a
it.
good look.
I need it.
Other trade talk: Jalen Brown potentially moving? Question mark? Question mark?
Where do we think that they're gonna want to go with that? I mean, I feel like it would just be any suitor that can take the contract, eh?
Yeah, for real. Which who would that be? I mean,
Probably the Nets. It'd be lower end teams, sadly,
yeah,
because most of the top teams are close to the second apron, if not already in it. That's why
could be the Spurs though.
the Spurs are a very good option. I didn't even think of that one because they were obviously in the talks of all these other trades.
Right? They definitely have the room and they have that pick, which everybody wants.
Yeah, those are really the two big ones that jump off the page for me, honestly, are the Spurs and the Nets. Other than that, I mean, obviously there's surprises. Maybe the
Right.
Grizzlies. Now that the Grizzlies opened up space, maybe they
That's true.
maybe they were thinking future ahead and they were trying to clear up space and they were like, hey, Jalen Brown's better than Desmond Bane because I mean, if you're taking
The
Jalen Brown
Suns
or
could use
Desmond
a
Bane, I'm
shooting guard.
taking. They honestly could use a point guard.
No, they could use. I mean,
I love Devin
what are they?
Booker, but he's not
What do
like
they
a
got?
set
Five?
playmaker like that.
Where they got like 5, 6 shooting guards? They could probably use another one.
Honestly, yeah, they could.
Seven's the number of perfection.
They'll just do a whole starting lineup of shooting
No, they
guards.
do need a point guard though. I'm just trolling on that. That's why I
No,
feel
yeah, I
like they're
know
going
what
to
you
turn
mean.
Jalen Green around right away because they're already talking Bradley Beal, and that's like 2K is 2K or whatever, and it's not perfect. But when I'm on 2K, I be grabbing guys like Jalen Green just to turn them around,
Yeah, for real though.
And it makes a lot of sense looking at their depth chart. Because yeah, I don't want to put Devin Booker at the point.
No.
Devin Booker is another guy that it's like just do something with him. Why'd they break up that finals run team?
Yeah, that was so sad. When CP left, I was like, man.
Yeah. And Aiden. I don't know. I feel like
Aiton,
he
yeah,
might be
he
the
played
most
his
slept
best
on
ball
player
in
in that
Phoenix.
series.
Yeah. Now that he's on the Trailblazers, it don't look so hot for him. But yeah, out west. I mean, what do you think about out west? I mean, we already talked about how we think it's gonna be Thunder Rockets 1-2, but I mean after that, there's a big
Yeah, it's
field.
tough to say. I mean, you got so kind of talking about KD with the Rockets, you got Curry and LeBron in there, and we've talked about how that kind of makes things weird because it's like I want to say Curry LeBron going to be high up there, but they're probably not because of young guys. So it's trying to decide what young guys are going to take that step and put themselves above.
I mean, you got to remember
But
LeBron's got Luca now,
that's true.
and
That's
he didn't
true.
even have a
And
full season of it last year.
man, you know what? I'm feeling it. I've just full body felt that. So I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Luca will have better stats than he did last season. I'm talking 34.0 plus.
Ooh, that boy winning
Like,
MVP this next year. You saying? He mad that Dallas
bro,
traded him.
I hope he wins every year. And like honestly, the way I'm talking, it does like that it yeah, that is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking he's on his MVP revenge season coming out there. I'm thinking Bron's ready to take his number two role. You know,
Braun is crazy.
Brooke Lopez on the way. I mean,
You ready to get rid of Brooke? You so
no,
ready to.
they said they're getting rid of him. I'm not ready. I like Brooke Lopez. I've seen him play basketball more than any other NBA player in history.
That was a
Fun
funny
fact.
realization the other day.
But like. But yeah, I'm sad to see him leave, but it's a reality.
No, yeah.
Brooke Lopez will not be a Milwaukee Buck next season, so
Plus he's
love to
old
see him
at
next
this
to Luca
point.
and
So
LeBron, and then Curry, Jimmy Butler. Two other older players
hmm
that are contenders, high IQ guys that are going to be able to lead their team to something special. So I'm gonna put them both in the top 8. I want to put them top 6. I think I will just put them top 6 unless I remember other teams.
uh
I'm gonna put the Nuggets at 3.
ooh,
Jokic is Jokic. He's gonna get it done.
I'm kind of starting to get over the Nuggets. I think people are starting to figure him out.
Still putting him at 3. That's the best player in the world. You
And,
know, Luca MVP aside, SGA won the championship. Full respect. Jokic is the best player in the world. He proves it time and time again. He's gonna he's gonna lead his team. If it's not 3, it's at least 6. At least 6.
dude, I mean
That's
that
the floor.
the Mavs and the T Wolves, they look like they're gonna be a
Oh,
real.
those were the teams I couldn't think of. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards. I knew there was a young demon
And
that I
Cooper
wasn't thinking of,
Cooper on
bro.
the Mavs now. We don't know how that's gonna
That
look. That
Mavs
might be
team, man.
crazy. And Mavs team is
I,
decent, and now they get the
I
number
hate to
one
say it,
overall
but I'm
pick.
dropping Curry and LeBron to keep Jokic at 6. Gotta keep him floor 6, man.
Saying,
I
dude,
might say 5
the
with you talking
West is
about these
tough.
new teams. I think the Timberwolves were a little underwhelming last season, so I'm gonna put them at like a 4. I'm gonna put the Mavs at like a 6, and the Nuggets. I'll put the Warriors up at 3 though.
Damn, that Curry
That's
glaze is still there.
yeah, personal bias. Love the Dubs. I don't know. It's the same as the East. It's like, you're all the same. You're all really good at basketball. The Spurs too, man. They were not even like making it last year, and now all of a sudden they could
Now they got De'Aaron Fox and
like their ceiling's probably like conference finals, which is crazy to think about.
yeah, because they could still make crazy trades in the offseason.
Let's start backwards, all right?
Okay.
15, the Pelicans.
The Jazz.
All right. 15, 14. So,
15, 14, 13. Honestly, the Trailblazers.
yeah. So
Trailblazers in
12 and
third.
11, I'm probably going to say Kings and Suns. So I'm going to have to cut
Yeah,
the Suns out again.
yeah, for sure. I love the Suns, but it's just not looking good so far unless they make some great trades post KD trade. I'm not believing in it. The West is just too strong.
So the Grizzlies are going to have to be at 10 then.
Yeah, I think the Grizzlies fall out too. They also made a questionable trade that made them go
Right.
backwards. The Clippers, I think, fall out.
Unfortunately, yeah. I mean, unless Kawhi goes absolutely nuts.
Yeah, or
You know what's
Harden
crazy
has
is
another
Kawhi
year
is
like
like the
last
age
year.
of like 2019 LeBron.
That is crazy.
Like imagine if Kawhi was able to perform at peak right now. That
It'd be
I'd
beautiful.
put the Clippers at like 4. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe even higher.
All right, I'll be more realistic about it. The Warriors are probably at like 7.
Yeah, I don't see them being like an amazing regular season team. They
Yeah.
honestly aren't.
I mean, yeah, you're right. Jimmy Butler's never been that regular season guy. He
He
takes the
doesn't
back
care.
seat.
Yeah.
Um,
And honestly, we've kind
you
of
know,
seen Curry lean towards that a little bit. Like, yeah, he goes
yeah.
for wins to make it to the playoffs, but I don't think he's like torn up if he loses again. Like, you know what I
No, they
mean?
definitely when the Warriors go on streaks, it's because they need to stay in contention.
Right.
It's
Like
not
Curry's
because
won
they
enough
like all of a
championships
sudden
at
are
this
getting
point.
hot and they're all just on hot streaks. It's because they looked at the standings and were like, all right, we need to win 7 of the next 10 games or we're gonna fall out of contention. So
Yeah.
then they go and win 8 of the next 9 games. But yeah, all these other teams aside, they'll probably be lower because that LeBron Luca team, because I realistically do feel that way about Luca. I feel like he's gonna be
Yeah.
on MVP type jet, top 3 in the MVP conversation for the entire season. Um,
No, yeah, that's a completely valid take, especially with all storylines added and whatnot, him being mad at Dallas and stuff. He's going to go into this offseason and go crazy.
and like assuming even if it's not Brooke Lopez, that's just what I think. But assuming that it's the Lakers finish their roster the way that they tried to during the last trade deadline, you
With like
should
a
assume
center,
that
yeah.
Luke could do that. And it's like, yeah, it also depends on LeBron if LeBron's able to take that back seat and let Luca lead the team.
It's a valid
Um,
point.
because yeah,
That is something that LeBron has never done. I
right,
just now thought of that. That is crazy, bro.
and
We're
will he be able
finally,
to? It's like I have no idea.
dude, we're hitting
Yeah,
the era where LeBron's not the best player on his team, dude. I'm
bro, we
geeked. It
hit
was
it last
supposed
year.
to be
It
that
happened
with
before the trade.
AD. Oh
That
my
was AD
gosh.
just passed like here's LeBron and here's AD the whole time, and then it was like, and then AD going away,
And then
and
Luca
then
came in and
and then
like,
Luca came.
yeah, it was just
It was like,
there.
and now LeBron is just like,
Damn. That's
"What's up, Luke
crazy,
GM?"
man. Oh, Luke GM, you're hilarious. That's crazy though. I never even processed that till now. LeBron is not the best player on his team anymore for the first time in 20 something seasons.
Ever, yeah. He's always been the number one option, literally until like just before the trade happened. And it honestly was debatable because Anthony Davis started the season off good, but then kind of started to fall off. So LeBron was still pretty much the first option. And
Yeah.
then when Anthony Davis was gone, bro, it was like 2018 LeBron all over again. But yeah, so it really is up to LeBron to let Luka do Luka. I mean, he's 25 years old. He's entering his prime, even though he's already been on a bunch of all NBA teams.
I'm also predicting that Anthony Edwards is going to be on some MVP shit. He's going to try and take off and be on some like, hey, like
I
I
can
am one
back
of the
that.
best in the league because like we're
I can
kind
back that, like top 10.
yeah, because we've kind of for the last like couple years almost like skirted him out of that. Like we've put so many people above him. Not to
Right.
say that he's not like in conversations of all of that, but he's not like top 5 guys. I could see him making an argument for being like one of the top 5, 6 players in the NBA this next season and like just being like a defensive monster on top of his already great offensive game or just something because we've already seen him study parts of tape of other players and improve his game so much that I could see him taking this next offseason into really kind of polishing that off because he's close to like exactly what you want as a player already as is.
Oh, yeah.
He can slam it over anybody. He can
He's
shoot
the
it.
youngest one, too. I think he's like 23, maybe 24 now.
Right. He can
He's, like,
slam it
very young.
over everybody. He can shoot it over everybody. He can pass out of double teams beautifully at this point. Literally, the only thing he needs to do to polish off his game is be like the best two-way like defensive player that he could possibly be, and it's raps for the league. Like he's just the best player.
Another guy that could be high up in MVP conversation who kind of just needs to have that takeoff is Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he could be right there if he just almost like what you said, if he could like cement that two-way into his game.
Mm-hmm. Cause yeah, that's another one where like, yeah, he can hit the 3 ball over anybody. He can yam it over anybody. He just needs to be defensively more locked in and like consistent every single play.
Yeah.
That it would really take him off to a next level. I see Anthony Edwards really doing that shit though. I don't know if I see Dono doing that.
Why don't we take a quick break and then get back into whatever?
Yeah.
All right. Kicking back into it. So, the draft is coming up in a couple days here, so we are going to talk about the draft. So, what we're looking at is an article on NBA.com, which has a consensus draft. It's basically like all your different websites, ESPN, Bleacher Report, The Ringer, etc., looking at all their mock drafts and then putting them together. So we're going to kind of go through that and talk about the players that we know and learn about the players that we don't.
Yeah, heck yeah. So obviously at the number 1 overall pick, we got Cooper Flag from the Dallas Mavericks. I mean, I feel like everybody has expected this one for months now. We've known that it is him. It's him. It's him.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
not really much to talk about with
you
him.
can already picture him in a Dallas jersey.
Yeah.
You know, they were talking to him about his teammates Kyrie Irving and Anthony Davis right after the draft lottery.
Yeah.
Because he's that clear number 1 this year. So that's what it is.
Yeah, 100%.
Um,
And yeah, there's not a whole lot to say about him besides the fact that he really is the number 1 guy by a good margin. To the point to where like other guys in this draft that I think are a lot better of prospects than certain people realize are getting underappreciated, like a couple different guys. So yeah,
Well,
he's good.
just something about Cooper Flag, because we don't have to say too much, just because if you haven't heard about him, it's easy to go find out about him. You know, he's everywhere right now in the NBA realm. But he plays a position that isn't very, a lot of people don't play that position in the league right now. So he's going to very easily climb his way to one of the better forwards in the league just because a lot of forwards are bigger forwards. He's kind of a smaller forward, and he's going to kind of.
Yeah, he's like a
That's my-
true
that's
small
my take.
forward, whereas a
Right.
lot of guys are almost like power forwards playing the small forward, or even like
Exactly.
point guard shooting guards playing the small forward if they're running the small ball technique. So, yeah, like you said, he's like that true 6'9" small forward build where it's like he's gonna rise up in the ranks as one of the best small forwards in the game pretty quickly if he does reach his full
Right.
potential.
That's what I see. Like, yeah, he'll quickly be the best, if not. It really depends on what you think Tatum is, honestly.
Yeah. For me,
Or
Tatum's a
like,
small forward, but he's like a nowadays power forward if you're
yeah, it's
playing
like
small ball.
because of what you just said about like guards too. They got Jaylen Brown playing small forward, even though he's more of like a true shooting guard.
Yeah,
That's really where he should be. And
because
Jason
that's really
Tatum's
where they
just a small
started at.
forward.
Yeah.
And then you got like LeBron and KD and other like forwards that kind of jump back. Giannis played small forward one time, but
Right.
like LeBron's more of that like true small forward, but now he plays that power forward role a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
But Cooper Flag's going to be, because of all those type of things, he's going to be that. They're going to play him at small forward, hopefully. Dang, what if they do it to him? What if
Yeah.
he's a power forward
I
in
mean,
like
it's
three
just the
years?
nowadays NBA. He might be a power forward coming into the game, but they have a good amount of big men, and we know
Yeah,
AD
that's what
does.
I'm thinking because they have AD playing power forward.
Yeah, and we know AD doesn't like to play the center with them having Derek Lively. It seems like they'll just keep Lively starting at
Right.
center, AD at the power forward, and then Cooper at the shoot or at the small forward. So they'll have kind of a bigger lineup,
Kyrie and
which
Clay.
yeah, they're gonna have a bigger lineup. Honestly, now that I think
All
about
right.
it,
Back to our before break conversation. Put him at four, man. Put him at three, maybe. I mean, man, that's a tough starting lineup right there.
I'm saying, dude, like that team. Oh, but at the number two pick, we got a prospect that we were saying kind of in the break that has gotten overshadowed a lot because of the number one pick, and that I was kind of referencing too. There is other guys that I'm going to speak about that I think have gotten overlooked as well, but Dylan Harper to the San Antonio Spurs, they're saying at the number two pick, and yeah, he's the clear number two guy, and he's a dog. He's a
Yeah, I would
dog.
agree based on the highlights I've seen. And honestly, I haven't seen much highlights. I just started watching and really getting ready for this draft. But I mean, yeah, he does it all. I mean, he's a shooter, he's a dunker, he can pass like crazy. Like his
Yeah,
passing ability is
he's
just
got great
very
playmaking.
impressive.
Yes.
And watching him board too, it's not like he's like huge guy getting up there grabbing boards. He just like seems like he was really smart and he knows where to stand.
Dude, but he is big though. He's 6'6".
I mean,
At the point guard spot?
I'm saying he's not like huge guys,
Yeah.
like big men getting
Yeah,
rebounds
yeah,
type of
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
But
I hear
like
you. I hear you.
he like, but obviously he is big for a point guard. I'll give you that take, and that does definitely give him that kind of like Westbrook kind of vibe, where he can get those boards as a point guard. But he just seems smart. He just seems
Hmm.
really smart for his age too, and yeah, really underrated player. You hear a lot about Ace Bailey, and this and that, or a lot about Cooper Flag, like we were
Yeah.
saying. But
Yeah, there's certain conversations that have taken over the draft this year to where Dylan Harper is kind of rode underneath, and I feel like he's going to take the league by storm.
yeah, but unlike Cooper Flag, he's not that for sure number two. Although I think he should be. I think we both agree he should
Yeah,
be.
in my yeah, I guess I should have clarified that. In my opinion, he's the clear number two, but
Yeah, he's the number two on everyone's, by the way. So
yeah, he
I guess
was
he
the
is
number.
kind of a clear number two.
And then at number three in four of the what was it, 10 mock drafts that they took here for the consensus draft, they had BJ Edgecombe going to the Philadelphia 76ers. This one kind
Yeah.
of surprised me a little bit.
Yeah, I was a little surprised by this too. Just because of the guy I mentioned, Ace Bailey. I've been hearing a lot about him, so I kind of just thought he was a clear number three, especially because I've been hearing about him and the Sixers communicating with each other.
Hmm. That's the
And
thing that gets me thinking that Ace is going to the Sixers.
yeah, that's what I think too. And
But
some people I think had him going three. I mean, Yahoo Sports had him going three.
yeah, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
there's
I'm not gonna dig
definitely
through all of them right now,
no, yeah,
but
it's definitely going to be a back and forth. Like certain people have them where or where, but I mean, either way that the 76ers go with this between VJ and Ace, I don't think that they're going to be in a bad spot either way because either guy is going to do very good things for them. I mean, VJ is just an athlete. The dude balls.
Wait, so this is saying so VJ Edgecombe's most common is 3 and 4, tied. Oh, because he's got 4 votes for 3. Ace Bailey's most common is 3. He's got 3 votes for 3. So he's 4 because he doesn't have more votes for 3, but he's still the most common vote was for 3, if that makes sense.
You
So
got
they're
it?
pretty equivalent.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah,
yeah, I'm
yeah.
done now. I'm
No,
done
no,
now.
no. Yeah, I was just making
Talk
sure
up
you got it.
Edgecombe, bro. Talk him up. Talk up, bro.
Dude, yeah. I mean, exactly like it says here. I mean, he's an athletic marvel. I mean, there's no really other better way to put it. The dude is an athlete, a freak athlete. And Ace Bailey kind of has the more skills. It's really dependent on like just which way they want to go with that forward spot of it. And it seems
Okay.
like it's really just them going to be trying to replace their Paul Georgie position almost
Right.
because I mean, if we're being honest, that experiment did not work for them. So they need to figure out a forward spot because they got two young guards that are amazing and
I agree,
progressing.
but who knows, man? Maybe they'll bounce back. I mean, maybe it was just a weird season.
Hey, I think they're going to bounce back, but I think whoever they pick here is going to be the one that helps them bounce back a lot too because
Oh, I would agree too.
I can't rely on Joel anymore. I'm far past the whole like thinking Joel
No, I'm
Embiid's going to
relying
play.
on Tyrese Maxey for sure. Joel Embiid's just gonna be there to get boards and stuff.
Yeah. And let's hope Jared McCain has a healthy season because let's not forget that he was robbed of a rookie of the year.
For real. I mean, that kid was going nuts. I mean, front runner rookie of the year for sure when he was getting it. So yeah, he's gonna. Who knows what the Sixers are gonna do? But I would like to see Jared McCain be like a starting point guard on a team at some point,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's the Sixers or somewhere else. Sorry to get distracted, but yeah. Back to the draft between Ace Bailey and Edgecombe, VJ Edgecombe. Um, it's kind of a toss up, but like we said, we think the Sixers are going to take Ace Bailey just because of the conversations they've been having. Uh,
Especially because there was that like which kind of leads me to think that it wasn't Ace Bailey, but at the same point I'm not really fully sure who else it would have been. But there was that report that went around that one of the top guys didn't want to play with LaMelo,
oh, really?
but it was like an anonymous
Huh.
guy that didn't want to play with LaMelo, and it kind of made me be like, well, would that not be Ace Bailey then? Because Ace
Yeah, I
has
mean,
been
that
very
just seems like his
open,
personality. But
right?
yeah, I guess you're right. He has been pretty open about it too.
Yeah, he hasn't
Maybe he's
been
not
like
trying to offend LaMelo personally or something.
I don't know, but it also makes me
Like
lead
he's
to
not
think that
trying to
maybe
start beef where it doesn't
that
need to
could
be.
be VJ, and that could be the reason that the Sixers are going to go ahead and pick him, and the Hornets might end up with Ace Bailey because of the fact that
Maybe, yeah. I mean, there's a reason that these insiders writing these articles in the first place have VJ Edgecombe majority going 3
right.
because they know more than us. Twitter's full of lies. Don't let anyone ever tell you different.
So that would mean at four that obviously they got Ace Bailey going. We've kind of been talking in pairing about VJ and Ace Bailey. Like we said, I mean, I don't really see. I don't know.
I'm
It's
noticing these updates too. That's the only switch is that they just said switched positions.
yeah,
There's some more switches deeper. But
yeah,
anyways.
yeah.
All right.
But
I think we should move on. Number 5, Utah Jazz.
Trey Johnson.
They drafted Trey Johnson, Texas guard, 6'6", a clutch performer whose scoring punch is unquestioned. His upside banks on belief in vision and defense.
Yeah, definitely just going to be a guy that they need because they got no guard play realistically
Yeah.
over in Utah, and I bet you they wish they got like a higher pick because Dylan Harper would be exactly who they could be using over there. But not to say that Trey Johnson is like bad or like a complete fall off. He's going to be good. Like it
Yeah, I
said,
don't
he's a
know
clutch.
about him, but I mean, there's so much room on the Jazz for a top five pick, you know.
Right. But yeah, like it said, clutch performer whose offensive game is absolutely unquestioned. So they're going to get a guy that at least is going to come on there and add a scoring punch, which is something that they need. And the defense that they've already kind of built in that team with their young core, hey, if he can pop out and do something crazy, this could be really nice for them. So definitely I'll hope for Trey Johnson actually doing well for the Jazz.
Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of cheating ahead now, looking.
Oh yeah, you're good. I'll move on to number 6. The Wizards. It says they're taking Con Canuple out of Duke, the forward, Cooper's little running mate over there, 6'7" freshman. I think the Wizards need anything.
Yeah, that's a similar story to the Jazz. I mean, it's like,
Take the best
you know,
player
you're in the
possible.
lottery, so yeah, take the best player possible. You know, who knows? Maybe they'll be the rookie of the year. I mean, you really don't know, you know?
Yeah. Number 7. The New Orleans Pelicans are looking to take Jeremiah Fears, it says here, the guard out of Oklahoma, 6'4" freshman. Says a youngster who sports handles and quicks for days. His future is an offensive fulcrum or solid fit puzzle piece seems in the eye of the beholder. I think this would be a good pick for them if they plan to keep Zion. Um,
Yeah, I could
because
see that.
yeah, I definitely think this was a really good like
I was thinking similar. They fall to the Nets and they keep Cam.
right. Yeah, I think he'd be good pairing with Zion at running in the pick and roll. I think him and Zion would do well. He's got good playmaking and good handles, so I think he would be able to dice some people up and create a little bit of pressure and then toss it up for Zion if they can get a good system worked out. So I definitely think that would be the best pick for them as a point guard, and this one Jeremiah has good upside, so it's definitely a good pick for New Orleans. They once again just a bottom feeding team that kind of needs anything. So,
Right.
and this is actually a
I
team
mean, that's what
that
you see in the lottery, you know?
yeah, and this one actually is kind of a team that has a little bit of set with Zion and a couple other guys, so it feels like yeah, I mean a guard is definitely the best bet for them. Moving forward at 8, the Brooklyn Nets, it's got them taking Kamen Maluak out of Duke as well. Freshman, 7'2" freshman. Uh, Long, mobile, and already a defensive deterrent. If the offense elevates beyond rim rolling, opponents could be in trouble. This is one that I think they could take any number of guys here. This is where I think it starts to get
Okay.
a lot more interesting. I think the Nets could either be taking Maluak, Yakuchonis, the guy that we see below, and Derek Queen as well. I think any of these guys are kind of in this range now where it's like I could see them getting picked up by the Nets because the Nets are again one of those teams that have like they kind of
Right.
have a young decent player at almost every position that isn't like fully a star. Like they got Claxton at center. So it's not for sure that they're going to take a center because they kind of got a center. They got Cam Thomas at like the guard spot, so it's not for sure that they would want to take a guard like Kasparis or not. You know what I mean? They got Cam Johnson at the power forward spot, so they kind of got a power forward in like that forward spot locked in. So like it's kind of weird for them. Same with the Raptors and the Rockets with the next couple picks. So it's really just
Yeah, when you kind of like scroll through the different mock drafts too, he doesn't really land here ever. It's just that he's all over the place.
yeah,
because it's like, yeah, that's not really what the Nets need. But
No.
what they do need is that Jeremiah Fears pick,
Yeah.
that they're probably not going to get.
Yeah, if he could fall and they could get the Pelicans to try and cuz that's something that I could see happen too actually is Fears dropping one for the Nets potentially and the Pelicans trying to take like a Maluak or a Derek Queen a little bit earlier than some people might predict. I personally am really high on Derek Queen, but I mean, who knows? Uh, but yeah, I could see them trying to pair a good center next to Zion because I think we're far past the point of trying to play Zion at center whatsoever. So he's
Yeah,
clearly like a power forward that's even short for that. Like he's like a Draymond sized power forward.
right.
So you need like a definite center kind of next to him, and they don't really have that yet. So I could see them kind of reaching just a pick or two up compared to other people's mocks for a Maluak or a Derek Queen and trying to get a guy that will look really good next to Zion because
Yeah, I mean, if Zion could focus on more offense and have like a Malawak run in the paint, kind of like what we saw Chet doing yesterday, like that type of defense, and then Zion can do his thing, that would look really good.
right.
And then kind of switching gears to the Nets too, there's a lot of talk about Cam Thomas leaving. Um, and that's why I'm so kind of set on this Jeremiah Fears to the Nets thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if he goes early, if Fears goes early, I could. That's why I was saying I could really see them taking Yakashonis as well because he's definitely a
Right.
good player. Out of Illinois, 6'6". Like it says here, dimes will be dropped with the accuracy of his 3-pointer, ultimately determining how much space he'll have to operate. So, I mean, it's really just dependent on if his three ball is going to transfer over to the NBA. But regardless, he's a good playmaker. So and he's big, 6'6", 6'6", and being a really good playmaker. Like that's just, you know what I mean. We all love that type of stuff. We all love a big,
Oh
freaky
yeah.
point guard that can pass the ball well.
That's that Showtime Lakers right there.
Yeah, we all
You
loved
know,
Ben Simmons when he first
that's what
came into
made
the league.
basketball beautiful.
Yeah, so
That's that Russell Westbrook MVP type of stuff right there, you know?
right. But yeah, so at 9, they have the Raptors taking Kasparas Yakachonis. I already read his description, but like we said, these picks could really be flip flopped around. Who knows what the Raptors fully want, even if they want a guard with their team so far, or if they want a center with their team. I mean, really, it's all dependent on what the guys in the office want. And right in this little section, I see a lot of flip flopping between all of these teams.
Yeah.
And then at number 10, it has the Rockets taking Derek Queen out of Maryland, center, 6'10", freshman. It says, skilled and gifted with the ball in his hands, offense won't ever be the issue if he's given the reps to take the keys. And with that description alone, I mean, plus his highlights and just his tape that he actually shows, I mean, this is a guy that I could see Derek Queen being something. He's kind of a sleeper for me.
Yeah.
Derek Queen's low-key my sleeper. I could see him popping off and being something. I don't really like him going to the Rockets, truthfully,
He
because
wouldn't be going to the Rockets. He'd be going to the Suns.
right, that's true.
So
It'd
this is
be
the Suns pick
yeah, I
technically.
keep forgetting that. That I kind of like. That I
Yeah, that's
like a
what I
little
was
more.
thinking. Once you said you kind of see him as like the sleeper pick, he's at that center position. You kind of put him on the Suns, next to Devin Booker. I don't know.
Yeah,
You know,
that one I
could be
like
a
a bit
Suns
more.
little rebuttal Suns type of thing.
Yeah, that one I like a little
Like
more.
try again with DeAndre Ayton. Can't believe that they got rid of him, bro.
Yeah, that is
Anyways,
tough. That is tough. We were
that's
just talking about that.
yeah, it's just and now it's like talking about this scenario, it just kind of brings it back.
You're
It's
like,
like, come
man,
on.
the last time they had a good center.
Yeah, and now he's in that like I don't know if you're playing at your full potential right now because of the situation you're in, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
But all right, back to the draft. Back to the draft.
yeah. And then at number, actually, it says that there's two number 12s. That's
Yeah, I noticed
hilarious.
that. That's how it got to be a typo.
Yeah, I was like, that's hilarious. But at number 11, it's got Carter Bryant going to the Portland Trailblazers out of Arizona, forward, 6'8" freshman. The description is the defense is there, but low usage leaves many questions about his offensive profile. Um, Not exactly the guy that I would expect the Trailblazers to be trying to get. Honestly, they set a really good standard defensively this past year with Shaden Sharp and DeAndre Ayton and Scoot Henderson. Like the guys that they have, they've made a really good team defense system over there to where they've played like I don't know if you remember, they were going on little runs where they were beating like all of the best teams in the league and they were like only letting them score like 86 points. Like they were doing crazy things defensively. They were like low key one of the best teams defensively
Right.
last year. So them taking a defensive prospect like this is kind of weird to me, but also with the options here at 12, it's kind of you take the best you got, and if Carter Bryant is what they feel like is the best they got, then that's what they got to go with. Yeah.
I kind of like that Igor
I was
Devin
literally
move.
gonna say, man, Igor Devin would be the one that I would like.
That's what they need is
He's
a
another
passer,
sleeper.
playmaker.
Him and Derek Queen are the two. I forgot to say that with Derek Queen. Derek Queen's another one that I think has been not talked about enough because of the fact that Cooper is just overly talked about, not in a bad sense because he deserves it. He deserves his flowers. He's an absolutely amazing prospect. But
Yeah,
there's
I guess
certain guys
Igor's
that
got
kind
a
of
high
fall
turnover
through.
rate, so they are worried about that maybe, but that's
Yeah,
another thing where it's like guy's young, you know.
yeah.
If he's 24 with a high turnover rate, maybe start not thinking about the future with him, but if he's just coming out of college with high turnover rate,
Right. Plus, he's a freshman.
put
It's
him in
not
the
like
gym
he,
more.
yeah, it's not like he's like a senior coming out of
Right.
college that like has had like years of like this high level basketball play where he's still
Yeah. So
making
I wouldn't say
turnovers.
that's something to be too concerned about.
Mm-mm.
Especially when like yeah, a good playmaker on the Trailblazers right now. Trailblazers are in the West, so
That's who I'm hoping the Bulls pick is Igor. Give me Igor.
that would be nice.
I need that.
The Bulls are pretty guard heavy already though.
Yeah.
You just want it.
You don't want my take as a Bulls fan. Most Bulls fans would hate my take. At this point, it's trade Kobe White. I love the progression he's made, but
No, it really is. I mean, as like a partial Bulls fan, like appreciating it off of you and other friends from Chicago, it's like I
yeah,
want it to be Kobe White, but
yeah,
it isn't.
it's not.
So it's
It's
like,
it's already transferred to Josh Giddey in half a
yeah, it
season.
has. And it's,
Like Josh Giddey
it's
was
move Kobe White,
Josh
start
Giddey
building
has
around
more
Josh
moments in
Giddey.
half a season just this last year than Kobe White had all last year.
Much love for Kobe White, but yeah,
No,
everything
yeah. I
everything
mean,
we're saying
shoot,
is true. I
I
mean,
loved Homie right out of college. I remember seeing him out of NC and just be hyped and like just
so yeah.
being geeked that
And
we
like
got
I would
Kobe White.
understand why a Bulls fan would want to drop in the comments on you and be like, "Come on, what are you saying? Get rid of Kobe White," because it is like that's a guy.
No, yeah, that we've had since day one, and
But
like we got all these moments with, and this, that, and the other, and he's been there. But
but hey, and I can relate. I mean, I think it's time to get rid of Kyle Kuzma.
that is not the same scenario. But I hear you. I hear you.
uh,
But
almost to that Bulls pick, that Hawks pick though.
yep, at 12, they got Colin Murray Boyles, out of South Carolina, the forward 6'7", sophomore, a stout defender who will need the size to play up and the shot to fall for his full potential to be achieved. Um, Honestly, I think the Hawks just take whoever's the best. The Hawks don't really need a young prospect right now with their team and their
Right.
team setup. It seems like this would be a guy that I could see them potentially like trading with maybe like a future pick that they get from transferring over into the new season, trying to get somebody to bolster up their already good team, because they have a team that just had to deal with injuries last year, and their team, like we were saying earlier in the podcast when we were kind of giving our like way too early predictions on the East and the West, was like the Hawks always end up being this weird dark horse team for us that we're like, man, could the Hawks make a championship run though? Like a Pacers type run this year? Could they do
Yeah,
that?
I mean, and
And
it's
we think that
it's been
every
this way
year.
for like 5, 6, maybe 7 years now.
Yeah, ever
Maybe
since
not
they
7 years.
actually did it and went to the Western Conference Finals and almost made it to the finals,
Right.
we've thought,
Yeah, I'd say that was like the first season where it was like they could go back and do that or more again. And it's just bad luck,
mm-hmm.
honestly.
But yeah, so this is kind of a pick where I see the team potentially just taking the best available and trying to dump them off. Not in a bad sense, but trying to just trade them off instantly to the highest bidder, because I don't think they need a prospect to try and build up for 2 3 years or whatever until they see their best potential. Because with their team right now, I mean, at forward, this guy wouldn't be starting in 2 or 3 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I don't
And that's
really.
pretty much it's a lot of forwards right now. Maybe there will be a guard left over, but then you're starting behind Trey Young anyways.
Right. So yeah, that's exactly it. So I feel like this is a guy that they would package up with somebody else and potentially make a trade or some picks or something.
I could see that, yeah.
Yeah. And number 13, we got my Chicago Bulls, and they got him taking Noah Essingu out of Germany.
I think this is the only foreign player in the lottery.
Yep. Forward 6'10". The draft's second youngest prospect and a raw offensive product who projects a 3-and-D floor. Um, I'm not gonna lie, don't really know a whole lot about this guy's game because it's a lot harder to watch international ball, like keep up with international ball as much as like college ball with everything going on all at once. Unless you're like a Luka type prospect, unless you're like literally gonna be the number one, it's hard to keep up with you. So I don't really know a whole lot about this one at all. This one and then the Colin Murray Boyles are like the two guys that I'm like pretty unfamiliar with out of the top lottery guys. Um, but the one thing I will say is I could see the Bulls taking this pick just based off of the fact that they said it's the draft's second youngest prospect, because we took Patrick Williams higher than anybody expected us to because of the fact that he was the youngest guy out of the draft. And that's very Bulls like to just take a guy just because he's like super young. And we're like, well, he's going to be like 18. Like, isn't that cool? He's gonna have so much more time to grow than everybody
Right.
else. That's so awesome. Like, no, that's not great, honestly, because now he's however many years behind everybody else, if anything, and he's not. I don't know. Anyways.
So I'm catching some highlights right now, and he's giving me like small Giannis vibes.
Okay. Hey, hey, when you say it like that, let's take him.
Right,
Let's
right,
take the second
right.
youngest prospect in the
I
damn
mean, yeah, I
draft.
mean, I'm not gonna go out there and say that's a guaranteed MVP or anything, but he's giving me Giannis vibes.
Right.
He's going up with the elbow.
Ooh, okay,
He's
okay,
slamming it
okay.
down. He's
Yeah,
catching
yeah,
lobs.
yeah, yeah.
So it's all about that elbow.
It is too, yeah. And then at 14, we got the guy that I would personally, like I said, like the Bulls to take, but they got the Spurs taking him. I'm kind of surprised he fell all the way to 14 in all of these mocks. But with a guy like towards the end of the lottery, you kind of see it. I'm sure he's flipped around a lot. It says his most common is it's only two mock drafts that are putting him here, so he's definitely like thrown around a lot. He's definitely one of the guys that's like probably flip flopped. But
Right.
they got Igor Demon to the San Antonio Spurs. Huge guard is ready to dish him out, but will his turnovers and developing shot scare off suitors. 6'9" guard. Um, Great passing, and then like I said, I mean he's got a bit of clunkiness with the turnovers, and then he still hasn't fully developed his offensive game. but he shows great potential. And man, he's one to watch out for. He is one that I could see taking. I don't think he's gonna win Rookie of the Year, but I could see him winning like a Most Improved Player in a couple years.
Okay. Okay.
Something like he has like a kind of shaky first 2 years, and then his third year he figures it out and boom, take off. Or just
But
take
yeah, I
off
mean, I'm
forever.
excited. I'm excited for this draft. I think it's a little bit more exciting than the past couple drafts that we've had in the sense that it is like kind of a bigger pool of a lot of good players who,
I
you
totally
know,
agree with that. Yeah, instead of just seeing like a top 3 or top 4 guys that we're excited for, like I'm actually genuinely excited for all 14 of these guys,
right?
especially now that
Like,
you
yeah,
told me
this
even
is
just a little bit about that foreign-born Noah guy. So like I'm like, let's get it, man.
yeah,
Like
that's just on like literally 1 minute
no,
of
yeah.
highlights.
No,
So
yeah, but still, like, you know what I mean?
I hope he goes off on some like Giannis type
That'd be
stuff
so
though.
amazing. Especially if he went to the Bulls. Come on now.
Yeah,
Giannis
that'll
in
definitely
Chicago?
happen. Yeah, that would be exciting. That would be exciting stuff. But yeah, it's kind of like this draft is going to help kind of define the next era in a similar way, like that 2011 or like that 2009 draft. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting from this one.
I completely
And
agree.
who
Yeah.
knows, you know, maybe they'll all be really bad actually, but it's a draft. So,
That's crazy.
but that's the vibes I'm getting is that
No, yeah.
2009, 2011, like these are going to be the all-stars that compete against each other with Wemby and Jared McCain and Stephon Castle and
Right.
Chad, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Anyways, well, yeah.
Heck yeah, I think that's that, huh?
Yeah, I don't got too much else to talk about. I mean, I'll just holler to the Thunder again, you know.
Yeah. All
If you're a
flowers to the
Thunder fan,
thunder.
Sally hard. If
Yeah.
you're a Seattle fan, Sally hard. You know, this one's for you too.
Yeah, honestly, Selly harder if you're from Seattle because
Yeah, for real.
y'all had to go through the heartbreak of losing your team and then having to celebrate, like having to just be like, well, I guess we're a fan of the Thunder now, all the way down in OKC.
And you're getting your team back. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
Knock on wood.
That's where I think every real basketball head wants the first expansion team to be announced for. I
I'll
understand.
get the
I
Seattle patch right here.
yeah, I understand Las Vegas is like the big money pool, but like, come on, let's get the heart. Let's get the heart before we get the money.
I think they're both coming. I think it's two at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, it definitely has to be two at the same time. Do you think they're gonna announce them both at the same time, or they're gonna do like an announcement for one day and then like be like, oh, we'll announce the next
I
one
don't
next
know, but
week?
it's supposed to be this summer that they said they were going to announce it. So those questions are probably going to get answered pretty soon.
Pretty soon here.
You know, we're getting I don't think it's like next season, but I think it's the 2026-2027 season. So we're only one season away. And if they do it the same as they did the WNBA season, it's gonna be like this August that they tell us what teams are gonna be
Dude, I'm
coming.
excited for like an expansion draft and shit like that. That shit's gonna be
Oh
fire.
yeah,
It's
man.
that'll
Just
be the
like
first time in our history that like in our lifetime that we've seen anything like that, and that's gonna be amazing.
I'm a sellout. I'm a cop a jersey.
Oh yeah, I'm
Like, come
instantly
on,
becoming like a secondary fan of Seattle or Las Vegas or maybe even both.
bro. Yeah, Seattle, man.
You know what I mean, dude? We
Uh
like almost every
favorite
time
team
we
in the
make a
West
my
almost.
league.
Like
You know
what?
what I mean? Every time we make a my
We
league,
like
we're like
fight over
fighting
being
over who's beating
supersonics.
Seattle.
I mean, come
Exactly,
on,
bro.
dude.
We
I
need
got my
this shit.
Supersonics hat. Like,
Like,
I've
come
been
on.
repping that too. I was repping it at the mall today. I was repping it all day yesterday because I was like, let's go Thunder. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Win one for Seattle. Plus the Seattle Storm, you know, Sue Bird. I mean,
Oh yeah, the goat, Sue
just good
Bird.
for basketball right there.
Speaking of Sue Bird, she got an amazing podcast. I don't know if you do peeping that.
Oh, yeah? No, I haven't peeped that
Mm-hmm.
actually.
Mm-hmm.
Got to look into that.
Yes, sir. All right, that's gonna be that for this week. We appreciate y'all for making it all the way to the end. We're super hyped for the off season. We have a bunch of random, fun little like game ideas that we've been talking about throughout the last couple months to save for this time because just because basketball stops for the NBA doesn't mean we stop because we're gonna now cover the WNBA and we're gonna cover the draft and who got picked this next week, and free agency and random fun ideas of, blind rank this, or, random draft this, or just whatever. We have tons of
Maybe we'll
ideas.
check in on Jokic's horses, see how they're doing,
Right, you know what I mean? A little
Like,
live interview with the horses. You never know with us. We're multi-talented. So keep on
for
the
sure.
lookout. We're not stopping. We apologize for any of the scheduling stuff this past couple weeks. We've just been going through a whole lot personally, so we got a whole lot that we've been having to take care of, but we're going to be getting it all off season. Like I said, don't ever think that we're just going away for the off season just because basketball stopped. We are grinding. We are going. So
For sure, for sure.
we love y'all.
And we're
Don't
never
forget.
gonna stop loving basketball, that's for sure.
That's it. That's it. So don't forget to like, don't forget to comment, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to share it with your mama, share it with your papa, share it with your auntie, share it with your uncle, share it with your dog. Put it up, put the link up on the fridge so that anytime somebody comes over, they're like, damn, what's this link to? And you're like, damn, that's my favorite podcast right there. We love y'all. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.